friends. This story time, we're going to be reading the book, The Tiny Seed, from Eric Carle. Hi. So Eric Carle, he imagined the story, he wrote this book, and he also did all of the art for it. And I wanted to read it to you today because it is spring and the seasons have changed. That's one of the reasons why we've been growing our vegetables. And it's just a season I wanted to talk to you guys about. So we have 4 seasons every year, and then it's like a circle. They just go through each 4 seasons every single year. We have fall or autumn. After that is winter, and that's when it's very cold, and sometimes in some places it can snow. Then it starts to get a little bit warmer, but it rains a lot, and that's when the flowers and vegetables and all the plants grow. That's called spring. After spring, it gets warm. The rain goes away, and sometimes, especially here, it's just really hot. After summer, it turns into fall or autumn, and it starts to cool down, and that's when the leaves come off of the trees. It is autumn. A strong wind is blowing. It blows flower seeds high in the air and carries them across the land. One of the seeds is tiny, smaller than any of the other seeds. Will it be able to keep up with the others? And where are they all going? Where do you think all the seeds are going? Yeah, maybe. One of the seeds flies high, higher than the others. Up it goes. It flies too close to the sun, but the tiny seed sails on with the others. I love the art in this book. Oh, do you see the tiny seed? Do you see it? Yep, there it is. Another seed lands on a tall and icy mountain. The ice never melts, and the seed cannot grow. The rest of the seeds fly on, but the tiny seed does not go as fast as the others. I wonder if the tiny seed will turn into a plant. Now they fly over the ocean. One of the seeds falls into the water, and a fish eats it. The others sail on with the wind, but the tiny seed does not go quite as high as the others. See it? One seed drifts down into the hot desert. It is so hot and so dry, the seed cannot grow. Now the tiny seed is flying very low, but the wind pushes it on with the others. So seeds need certain things to become plants. They need the right amount of water. They need the right amount of sun. Finally, the wind stops and the seeds fall gently onto the ground. A bird comes by and eats one. The tiny seed is not eaten. It is so small the bird doesn't even see it. Oh, I wish I could draw a bird like that. Now it is winter. After their long trip, the seeds settle down. They look as if they are going to sleep in the earth. Snow falls and covers them like a soft blanket. A hungry mouse that also lives in the ground eats a seed for his lunch. But the tiny seed lies very still, and the mouse does not see it. So some seeds are food for animals instead of becoming plants. Now it is spring. After a few months, the snow has melted. It is really spring. Birds fly by, the sun shines, rain falls. The seeds grow so round and full they start to burst open a little. Now the seeds are not seeds anymore. They are plants. First, they send roots down to the earth. Then their little stems and leaves begin to grow upward toward the sun. There is another plant that grows much faster than the new little plants. It is a weed, and it takes all the sunlight and the rain away from the one small new little plant, and that plant cannot grow. The tiny seed hasn't begun to grow yet. He hopes it won't be too late, but finally it too starts to grow into a plant. So this is a weed, and weeds, I'm sure you've seen them in your yard. They grow very fast, and if they do wind up blocking the sun from another seed, it won't be able to grow because seeds have to have sun to turn into flowers. I wanted to show you. So one of the reasons why we put our seeds into these little jars with soil is so that we could keep them safe from the outside elements. So no birds are gonna eat them, no weeds are gonna block their sun, and I make sure that they're by a window so that they see the sun every day. When your seed starts to open and become into a plant, it creates something called roots. And the roots help the seed to get the nutrients from this dirt and drink the water. Do you see the roots? They look like little white veins. Okay, I'm gonna show you the bottom because this one's roots. Oh, when your plant starts to look like that, it's ready to go into a bigger pot so that its roots can expand. The warm weather brings the children out to play. They too have been waiting for the sun in the springtime. One child sees the plant and runs along, and oh, he breaks one. That's okay. Plants aren't alive the same way that people are. They're alive in a very different way. They don't breathe air like we do. They don't have feelings like we do. They don't communicate. The tiny plant that grew from the tiny seed is now growing fast. But its neighbor grows even faster. Before the tiny plant has 3 leaves, the other plant has 7. And look, a bud, and now even a flower. That's its neighbor plant, so that's the plant that was next to him. This is the plant that the tiny seed is making. Sometimes when you plant a seed, some will grow very fast into plants, and some it takes a little bit more time. But what is happening? First there are footsteps, then a shadow looms over them, then a hand reaches down and breaks off the flower. So when you pick plants out of the ground, they don't grow anymore, but it's okay because there's lots of plants all around us, and flowers are beautiful to pick. There's lots of flowers, and they're not alive the same way that we are, so we're not causing them harm. A boy has picked the flower to give a friend. Have you ever picked a flower for anybody that you love to make them feel special? Yeah, I love flowers. Now it is summer. The tiny plant from the tiny seed is all alone. It grows on, and it doesn't stop. The sun shines on and the rain waters it. It has many leaves, and it keeps growing taller and taller and taller until it's taller than people's houses, it's taller than trees, and the flower continues to grow. People come from far and near to look at this beautiful, giant flower. So this is how big the house is, this is how big the tree is, and this is how big the flower is. Do you think a flower could really grow to be that tall? Yeah, probably not. I've never seen a flower grow that tall. All summer long, the birds and the bees and butterflies come visit. They have never seen such a big and beautiful flower. I think he's trying to say that the flower is as big as the sun. And that is definitely not possible. The sun is way bigger than any flower, but he has a really good imagination. Now it is autumn again. The days grow shorter, the nights grow cooler, and the wind carries yellow and red leaves past the flower. Some petals drop from the giant flower and they sail along with the bright leaves over the land and down to the ground. So look, it's fall again. Leaves are starting to fall. And it looks like seeds are starting to blow. The wind blows hard. The flower has almost lost all of its petals. It sways and bends with the wind, but the wind grows stronger and shakes the flower. Once more, the wind shakes the flower. This time, the flower's seed pod opens. Out come many tiny seeds that quickly sail away in the wind. So inside of every plant is more seeds. So when that plant's petals fall off, the wind blows super hard and a whole lot more seeds come out to become plants of their own. The end. I hope you enjoyed that book. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you soon.